we
Yeah.
recording? We're recording.
We're
I see.
live. I'm Charlie Cobble. He is me. I am him. And with the always brilliant and inquisitive. That's your cue.
Curious.
Yeah, that's your cue.
I'm Gina. I'm just Gina, and
Just
I'm
Gina.
she said.
That's what she said. She is her and she is him. We're going to talk about what shame today. Hopefully we'll get a little Agus Finch, Blue Jays, Blackbirds, Mockingbirds, and maybe even some Teddy Roosevelt in here today. But and also I'm going to try to speak more clearly, not say as much and all those kind of things. Do you have any personal goals like that for this one, just Gina?
I have so many personal goals.
You're
I wouldn't
right,
even
you
know
do.
where to start.
Okay. Well, mine are just to not say as much. I know I'm probably going to look up like this a lot, but in any event, the Simpsons are here with me, and so I feel like, I got a family that never grows old. This has been a fun experience doing Crazy Talk with you, Gina. I want to say thank you for agreeing to do it. It's brave and courageous, and by being here alone, you are winning, in my opinion. But
we're in the arena.
We are. I have gotten in the arena kind of I guess it's just kind of consistent with my character. I lean in pretty hard, and I've decided that I was going to do social media. Wanted to, start, branding for the firm in a sense, but also start, I guess, leaving a legacy that was positive behind. And, I see the firm as my kids. So it's not as much about business as it is just about family in a lot of ways. And so, but this is fun. And this is, nothing I could have envisioned, but I got on the Twitter, finally got on Twitter. I don't understand it. I don't know if you're on there. I don't know if you have much familiarity with it, but I got on there and I started messing around, having fun just recently. And not too long after our last podcast, I got a Blue Jay got shot. A Blue Jay named, Law Daddy Supreme got shot down, and I felt shame. I felt embarrassment. As I sit here today, I'm glad I made a little video in between because I'm not as connected to those feelings, probably because I talked to you about it the next morning, and Felicia, our executive producer, and just processed it really by that night in a lot of ways. But I'm glad I made that video and had conversations because it's something I think we have to talk about, given that your hate letter kind of came full circle then. And I apologize again for what I feel was not validating your opinion. You're eventually gonna do most of the talking once I set this up. But I want to go through kind of the experience that I had and see if we can't have some fun with it. I'm gonna do my part as the tweeter named Charlie or Cobble Law Firm, and you can play the characters that replied, because one of them actually made me feel the feelings you feel in your stomach. Do you ever feel that?
I know very well.
It makes you feel sick and scared, and I think you want to fight, flight, or what is it?
Fight or flight,
or freeze. Yeah. But so I got an email around Valentine's Day from 1-800-Flowers, and it said, "Dear Charles, thank you for reaching out to us. We're very sorry your order did not meet expectations. We're fully committed to our 100% smile guarantee and have issued you a full refund in the amount of $106.99 to your account. Your refund being processed and will be applied to your account to your original form of payment. Please allow up to 7 business days to post with your financial institution. It may take up blase, blase, blase." So I just saw that and I'm like, it just seemed kind of insincere to me. And I think I was grilling some chicken or something and it was just killing some time. So I hit reply and I said, "Thanks for refunding my money. I do appreciate it. Any suggestions on how I get my girlfriend that went without flowers on Valentine's Day back? Charlie." It was a joke. It was funny to me, something I would normally probably screenshot and send to 1 or 2 friends or whatever.
That we would laugh. It's not at that.
It's not true that it was just kind of a joke, and it was also. But I was like, man, this might be a tweet. This might be how Twitter works, and I was kind of, in a sense, conforming to it, and so I tweeted it, and I got some responses because I did this, and this is what magnified the shame. I promoted it That means you
I
paid
want to know what
money.
that means,
We're
though.
going to talk about that, but you're going to read some characters. But I took a screenshot of it. I tweeted it. So you see the email where they said, we're so sorry. We're committed to our 100% smile guarantee. And I responded in kind and asked if they had any suggestions on how to get my girlfriend back. And I thought that was, hey, Gina, you know what I did? I'm going to confess something right here.
What?
I even, I sent a screenshot, or no, yeah, I think I sent a screenshot to one of my buddies and I said, asked him if it was funny or he said, yeah, it's good content for Twitter. But then I promoted it. That means I paid money for more people to see it. I thought
I didn't even know you could do that.
I did that. And that was a big part of the shame that, so, okay, let's shake our heads. I'm going to stay in my
Yeah, shake your head because I didn't
you're
even know
going to
that was a
retweet it.
thing.
You're going to reply to my tweet. So
I'm
anyway, here it is.
This is me.
How do I get my
acting.
girlfriend back? She didn't get flowers on Valentine's Day.
Okay, hold on. Before we go on to any more, I want sidebar. I have been chosen to act before in a play before. Just so you know, I was.
Oh, you're gonna bring it then. You're gonna bring it then, yeah. I want you to bring.
I didn't have. Okay, and
you better make me feel the shame again. I want to feel it again.
So this is what I call acting.
Well, I practiced at Boy Scouts today with my daughter in the car while Hudson was inside, so I'm not ready.
Okay, so you ready? Here I go. Hold on.
Let me get my script.
Okay. Hold on. I'm going to start off with, hold on. I'm trying to figure out where I start off. Okay. Yeah, here I go. I can't cuss. You know, I'm not gonna be able to cuss.
No, I don't think I'm gonna cuss here.
When a bee is so unhappy with being unfunny, they had to pay for a tweet to be seen. This MFR is begging the customer service folks for relationship advice. And I'm 100% sure that if he weren't the type to do that or the type to pay to promote a cheap joke tweet, the relationship would be saved.
All right. So you did the part of one of the tweets. I guess that was the most significant one. That there was one other one who I requested to follow, and I didn't capture what they said, but I think that it stung pretty good too. I requested to follow.
That sounds good. Yeah, you're good.
But this Miguel said, "Don't jump, buddy." Evan said, "That's real."
Oh well, I got it. Then
I didn't mean to say his real name. Do you have those other ones? Your other characters?
If she left you over flowers, oh man, that's not nice. If she left you, have you ever watched that show where celebrities read the mean tweets?
Yeah, get into them. Yeah, make something up too if you want to. It doesn't matter.
Right. If she left you over flowers, it wasn't the flowers, buddy. He'd be so funny. Oh yeah, the other fishing for a 10, whatever. It's just unnecessary. It's just unnecessary.
Well, and several asked, why did you promote this early on? And that's when I started to feel it the most. But I don't know if you realize this. We had an episode earlier where I said, you don't always know someone else's shame, but like, this is when I learned that like someone can see if you pay, get it out there. And so I'm already feeling ashamed of that. I'm like, no, I just wanted to be like, it's a cheap joke that I thought some people, I'm using her words now. I thought it was a funny joke. It is a funny joke to me that I thought would it made me smile. So I thought it might make some other people smile, and I'm leaning into this. But I'm also trying to conform, Gina, to a platform, and not really being myself.
It may not be.
I subtly wanted to promote local florists because it's 100 flowers. But
you once said something to me many years ago. I'll never forget it. I know exactly where we were when you said it to me. We were sitting in your dad's backyard. It was a fall day. We were just looking at Piney Woods Lake, and you said you hated the fact that you like likes on social media. You said, I hate the fact that I like likes.
I have you. That's I still feel that way.
And you know what though? For the first time, I'd never even thought about it until you said it.
It's the validation loop, I think they call it.
What do they call it?
They call it the validation loop.
Well, I didn't even know that either. I'm learning something new today.
This is a good challenge for me. I'm not a multitasker, but I'm trying to unravel
You're the dad of the
Right
year
here,
on
but,
top of that, of everything else.
or the opposite. It, you know, it depends on who you're asking. But yeah, I think, you know, I have awesome kids, and
You really
like I
do. You
said, you
do.
know, they're the best. And yeah, my baby girl is gonna be 10 on Thursday, and I was looking at some little pictures of her today. But I guess the thing was, and I don't know how. See, I can't even like read the Twitter like comments in a way that like works. But what I can say is that last time we recorded, and she said like this MF is begging for attention. It was like, I think it was a combination of the way that they pointed out that I paid for it, and then someone called me up, the one that's deleted that you can't see when I requested a follower. It was something about like, and he spent $106, and he paid to promote it. Whatever like my shame triggers are, they were hit, Gina. I know that
I felt them. I felt it.
and I felt like I connected to you in your hate letter. But yeah, I mean, they were activated that night, and my instinct was to run, get off Twitter. You don't belong here, because I saw Cobble Law Firm there, and that was when it really hit me, because I'm like, you know, that's my kids, you know, in a way. I mean, it's my family, and it's a brand. It's not just my kids. I mean, it's the people that I work for, and you know, as a defense attorney, do no harm. What's my temperature?
I love it.
No, but anyways,
I love your kids. I love your kids.
But
okay. So
yeah.
okay, would you remember you asked me this before? I think this was meant to be. Everything that's happened has meant, since we started this whole whatever we're doing, is meant to be. You were meant to get that. You know why? And I thought about it. I've thought about this for days, since Sunday, since we first talked. Because what comes before vulnerability is shame. And to understand shame, you can't really understand vulnerability until you really understand shame. And I can also tell you that it's if I never ever experience discomfort, then I will never experience growth. And I didn't know that until I was 42 years old. I didn't learn that lesson until I was 42 years old.
I'm so
and
glad
then it was a wonderful lesson.
It's never too late, right?
It was a wonderful lesson. Well, every time I've had any kind of disappointment, getting fired from a job, getting a divorce, being let down, anytime I've experienced shame, and I thought it was horrible, once I walked through it and really walked through it, I mean, walked through it, through the fire, and I came out, man, I was stronger.
Yeah, it feels good, doesn't it? It's like, it's kind of like a graph that, like, I can't do the right lines, but it keeps going up, but like it's never like this, you know.
You should
like,
never stop growing. You should, when you stop feeling discomfort, then you're doing something wrong. If you're sitting around playing tic-tac-toe and you're doing something wrong, we should constantly push each other's buttons and feel some sort of discomfort at times, just to remind ourselves that we bleed, that we're real, that we're human, that other people are human, that we, you know, this was a lesson that I want to write these people, Katie or whoever, I don't say the name, these people that tweeted you and say thank you, because once again, it's a lesson for us. You know, I hate to put it as a Peloton metaphor, but I just got off the bike myself, and Alex was saying, if you ain't hurting, you ain't doing it right. Something like that. And I was like, yeah, Alex, you're right. If you're not hurting, if you're not making yourself go that extra mile or hurt, or you're not going to come out strong.
You want to get that high. It's funny you say Alex, because right before we came in to record this or whatever, Hudson and I, like, as you know, as a ritual, watch Jeopardy at 7:30 every night, and made me think Alex Trebek, and I can't remember exactly what he said, and I can't remember, like, Mark Richard or something. Richard is the guest host while Ken's doing his other project now, but he let me be vulnerable right now and say that I did guess Martin Scorsese as the before they even asked the question, and then it was obviously the director of The Godfather was the answer to it, and I didn't come up with Coppola. I stayed with Scorsese, so it's a little embarrassing.
I would have had that one.
I know. I mean, I have shame right now for saying that. But, I'm not even joking. I'm not joking, but I felt shame. I mean, Hudson doesn't know, but I told him, man, I should have gotten that one. But
can I take you somewhere with me? I hate to interrupt you, but I want to take you
Yeah,
somewhere with
yeah,
you.
yeah, absolutely. I just wanted to finish with what he said because
Okay,
on the
go ahead.
Alex thing, the guy ended
Sorry.
the show with like the world. You know, we all need to be a little kinder, more kind and more gentle. You know, just a little bit at a time to make the world better. And it just made me feel good coming into this transition, and that's what we're trying to do is just throw a little kindness and gentleness out there. And I was just trying to build up what you said, but take me wherever.
I want to take you to it's been 5 years ago, I started going to Al-Anon meetings. And for those of you that are not familiar with Al-Anon, it is for people who have ever had a loved one or someone that they loved and that was had an addiction, and then you go through the 12 steps yourself. So I don't know if you're familiar with the 12 steps, but I would love to introduce you to the 12 steps. So I was so curious, I am very curious. I started going to AA meetings. I'm not an alcoholic, never been an alcoholic. I don't even drink anymore.
We're all
I
subject
stopped,
to addiction though.
but I do have I did have an addiction to love. I had addiction to people.
We all have
I've had,
compulsions.
yeah, okay, maybe shopping a little bit, but I went to AA because I wanted to learn more about the disease, but then I learned more about addiction, all over addiction.
Why did you want to
And
learn more about the disease?
I want to learn about the disease. Do you really want to know?
I want to know the truth. I already know the truth. I just want to know if you're courageous enough to say it.
It's I don't think you do know this.
Was it for you or for someone you loved?
It was for me. It was because I truly, and it's not going to make any sense to you.
That's fine.
But
Perfect.
I thought that for years, I thought that I was such a horrible person. It's going to make me cry. But I thought I was such a horrible person that I made people become alcoholics. I thought I was the reason why people became alcoholics. And so I wanted to go to AA meetings to hear, but that was the best thing I ever did, because you're sitting. That was my shame. My shame was that I thought I was so horrible. No one would want to live with me because I was just horrible. That was what I truly believed. I don't believe it anymore.
Guilt is powerful, and
guilt's different than shame. And guilt's different. Guilt's a behavior. Shame's different. So this was a real shame.
This was shame.
And but I went to the meetings, and I've never felt closer to God in my whole life than I've ever felt
Amen.
in an AA meeting. And you're sitting with a group of people from all realms of life, and we all have one thing in common, and it was shame. And it was when they would stand up and give their testimonies, or they do their talking, and there's a real struggle. Shame is a terrible way to live. But the reason I'm telling you that is, if I had not gone through the 12 steps, if I had not gone to the meetings, I would never have learned how to become what vulnerability means. And now I'm almost drawn to people who for some reason, people tell me things, children tell me things. And I think it's because we sense each other's vulnerability. I think that's what makes me not a better teacher than someone, but a better teacher today than I was 30 years ago when I started.
They trust you.
And I trust him, and I understand more now.
I'm sorry.
You're
so right. No, don't apologize at all. You were so right. Like the AA meetings and that sharing that stuff, and the fact that it's anonymous. Just think about that. You said Al-Anon. It stands for anonymous, right?
Well, Al-Anon.
It's a shame. It's a place to express shame. That's what it is. And to find strength and courage in numbers and other people's shame, and sharing that with people that you couldn't be any more different from, all across the age spectrum. It's like jurors, or whatever, like from, age, gender, race, the political views, religion. It doesn't matter. You share that shame, whatever it is. And there's a million different, not a million different, Al-Anon is the most famous, but they're anonymous, whether it's Narcotics Anonymous. A lot of people are struggling with that these days, and that's become such a big thing with the opioid crisis. Gamblers Anonymous. You could have shopaholics. I mean, it's the same thing, and it's what is it? What are all the programs? It's coming together, and you're so damn right. It's sharing shame in a safe place to express shame, which is what we're talking about today. And it's silly to talk about my Twitter shame, but like I felt it for a minute. I don't feel it right now. I'm not connected to it right now. I think probably because I had a safe place like you and Felicia to get in front of it. I already had it processed pretty well. I was like, no, I mean, I know who I am. At the end of that day, I was thinking about Carole King's "Will You Still Love Me Tomorrow?" And before I went to bed, I knew who I was, and I thought, okay, but like, it's just the little spikes you feel that are significant. I don't want to, overplay it, but you're so right. That's such a good example of a safe place for shame. They should have like Shame Anonymous, like human beings should come
Yeah,
together.
wasn't
It's
that
kind of what
we
we're
should
doing. I
start
guess
it?
that's kind of what I wanted to do today is like
Yeah.
share it to empower somebody and say, look, if someone's mean to you or bullies you online, like it doesn't mean anything about you. I mean, and you read the comments and it was just a few, and it was like, because I paid to promote it, which is the biggest part of my shame, really. Like, but it's true, and I learned it was unpredictably worth every penny, Gina. I learned so much, and it gave me a yellow light that I needed, and an opportunity to express it because I'm talking and we're talking and we're talking. But action is what teaches my kids, anybody that's close to me, and that's what I learned from. That's what we learn from is action. You can tell your kids how to grow up all you want to, but it's action. It's going to that Al-Anon meeting, learning, being able to
I'm
take that
taking
risk. It's what you're doing right now, coming on here, just agreeing to to say things that I'm going to record and upload to YouTube or whatever. Is that's courageous, and that's pretty cool. Good job.
and and that's why I told you earlier. I said it's something that Brene Brown talks about. The critic is not really like those critics are not important. That they didn't
Whose opinion
putting
matters?
putting yourself out there. You're in the arena. Putting yourself out there. You're getting dirty. You're getting scrappy, and but you're living. You're being part of it, and anyone can get behind an anonymous note or
Your anonymous note, that's your hate letter.
Yeah, but you know what, Charlie, and I honestly don't even care what anyone even thinks about these videos. They're making me better,
Yeah,
and
that's yeah. I love what I'm hearing.
that's what matters.
And
That's all that matters.
yeah, we don't need anybody to watch. If it helps us, because us being better people is going to make the world a better place in the same way that guy on at the end of Jeopardy said, one little dose of kindness and gentleness at a time. And I have no ill will towards anybody. I guess my interpretation of it pretty within the same night was that's just someone who's hurting, and that's someone that is confused about how to heal. They don't know me. That was exactly the moment. It didn't take long that I thought they don't know me. Was the moment that I realized it didn't matter. If it was somebody I knew, and if it's somebody I know and have contact with, then it's going to be someone that would matter. Whether it's a client or someone that's in my circle, which I've kind of like drawn out my circle before. But if it's someone in there that is opinion, that's essentially in the arena with me, or they're just otherwise a part of my life. But it's most of us are in the arena. But I think I'm glad you said that, because you said Brene Brown, but her first book that really hit it off and got the TED Talks going was Daring Greatly, which comes from that Teddy Roosevelt.
And that's exactly
it's like I get chills. I get chills
Yes.
Thinking about it. The cold and timid souls that will never know what it's like to, taste victory or defeat.
There
Just
you go.
what it's not living.
You know what, Charlie? You and I are going to be okay. I can never take your shame away, and you can never take the shame I feel away. But together, by talking, we will work through that. We will we'll continue to be vulnerable. We'll continue to get this message out. And maybe someone out there tonight is feeling shame, and maybe something we say will resonate. Maybe not.
Yeah, but all we can do is practice. I mean, all I can do is practice what I preach. Think about, if you hadn't called me with that situation, I wouldn't have been able to be like, and then it was like when my daughter walked up to me, and said, what did someone say? It just connected full circle that like, this is an opportunity. Like you're being given an opportunity, and like I love this person just as much. They said these things. I don't know them. I want to know more. They belong. That's fine. But I pray for them. And it's you can't fix other people, but it's not going to make me feel any better. And I know, Gina, I don't know, but I'm guessing that you're not going to feel any better by making anybody else feel an unpleasant thought. I had to talk to
No,
my son about
it'll
this
make us feel
today.
worse. You and I would, it only make, if I've ever been cruel to someone and I knew I was being cruel, I felt 10 times worse. That's just the worst. That's not the way to live. There's no way to live.
It's usually that first emotional reaction where those decisions come out of, really before you've gotten before the emotions have hit that front part of the brain. They're still stuck up here or something. But I did think about Atticus Finch. The main tweet thing didn't even hit me until the next morning. I'm like, and that was like a source of pride, Gina.
You know, my dog
tweeted. Oh, and the paid promotion reached, and it was different than like anything else that I've ever seen, because it was that's still like, as I say it, I still have a little shame connected with that. I don't spend a lot of money on marketing. I just get with people like you, and I try to do a good job for people. That's what I've always done. And people know people. So as long as I keep doing my best and a good job for people, that's always been my kind of thing. So this, spending any money on marketing is a big deal to me, especially.
Well, maybe that's why I told you about your great grandfather today. Marketing. That's a story for next time.
It is. Atticus Finch wiped the spit off of his face right after Bob Yule, put one right on him and walked past him. He was talking about courage in the man with the gun in his hand. It's knowing you're licked. I was licked when I got in there, and still dancing anyways. And I appreciate this opportunity to do it. And I love what you said about Al-Anon and that Shane situation.
That's where I felt God more in those meetings. That's where God's in those meetings.
That's where the math works again. It's one needs another one or another, and the math just gets bigger than whatever the numbers add up to. When you start adding humans in that situation, it becomes more powerful. Love works that way. Hate works that way in a sense. It recruits. Hate is a very good recruiter, just like statistically, just like what we know historically. Love doesn't seem to be as good of a recruiter, but I'm not going to give up on it.
No, we're not. And you know what? I'm not giving up either, Charlie. We're not ever giving up on that. We will continue to be super spreaders of love. Okay. And
the flowers arrived. Did you
what?
know that, Gina? I got a text from my girlfriend yesterday that the flowers. It was a picture that blew me away that the flowers arrived. So I got my refund. They arrived. They were dead.
No, they were dead.
But it came with it was a blue orchid. It was beautiful, and it came with a wind chime. So the wind chime's still there, and that I didn't tweet that. I didn't put that on the Twitter. That's kind of the end of the story. But they were little blue flowers like that bluebird. You can shoot as many bluebirds as you want, right? But the wind chime's still there with singing like a mockingbird.
Say the mockingbird.
That's true.
Say the mockingbird quote. Say the mockingbird quote. It's my favorite quote. You cannot. What Atticus tells Scout, you can't kill a mockingbird. It's a sin to kill a mockingbird. And do you know why it's a sin to kill a mockingbird?
Because they don't do nothing but sit there and sing their little songs. They don't hurt nobody. They don't hurt nobody. They just sing their little hearts out. They don't go in the corn cribs or whatever it is messing around. You can shoot as many blue jays as you want. And that's funny as we're sitting here, Gina. I kind of want to get a picture of them if I have it handy. Let's see here. They arrived yesterday right before we went to go wish Miss Susan Hall. Which honestly,
look at what you did. Look at the good
what
thing
you did
for Susan Hall. Look at what you did for her. She was so happy.
What her son did for her.
Well,
all right. So that wind chime. Everybody thinks I know people right now. I say I feel shame about my screen being cracked. That's a wind chime. It came. So that's why it was $106. I don't have to defend myself.
No, you don't.
You know what? It can't die. The flowers died. The little blue orchid flowers that were so beautiful died, but that wind chime is going to keep singing like us. What a perfect.
And you know what I have to do before, because you told me to keep it short. I'm about to tell you that I love you. I love you with
Perfect.
all my heart. And I'm going to tell you good night. But you know how I'm going to tell you good night? What were all those dreams we spent those many years?
That dad, Gina.
Keep dreaming, Charlie. You hear me?
Hey, keep hypnotizing minds, Gina, with love.
I'll see you tomorrow. Talk to you tomorrow.
Whisper in my ear.